This is The Scoop for Tuesday.
I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines. A dangerous weather pattern continues to impact Florida. Last week, a severe line of thunderstorms produced several EF2 tornadoes over Tallahassee. And yesterday, another round of storms produced reports of tornadoes, strong winds, hail, and local flash flooding over the Panhandle and parts of the peninsula. Meteorologist Megan Borowski says the risk for severe storms and flooding is elevated over the entire peninsula today, including the Tampa Bay area.
There's another trough of low pressure that's swinging across the eastern half of the United States, and the dynamics around this feature, plus a very humid air mass over the Gulf of Mexico, are priming the pump, so to speak, for multiple rounds of thunderstorm complexes over our area today. And we're looking at the potential for several hazards from these storms. Damaging straight-line winds and tornadoes are going to be possible, and we can't rule hail out of the equation either. Also, these storms could produce excessive rain rates, and as clusters of storms track over the same area, the risk for flash flooding is going to mount.
Borowski says we should be weather aware throughout the day because several rounds of storms are possible. In the event of flooding, we need to seek higher ground and stay away from floodwaters. That means not driving through floodwaters either. In the event of a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, we need to shelter in an interior room on the lowest level of a sturdy building. Coming off of Mother's Day weekend, many people are reflecting on abortion access in Florida. WMNF's Chris Young reports on Democrats' push for support for a November ballot measure to put abortion rights in the state constitution.
Nikki Fried is the Florida Democratic Party chairperson. She was joined on a Zoom call by Democratic state leaders and mothers to discuss abortion rights.
This past Mother's Day carries a renewed sense of obligation. For the first time in over 50 years, young women and children in Florida have fewer rights than their mothers and grandmothers did following the landmark Roe v. Wade decision in 1973.
Leaders spoke about the importance of Amendment 4. It would ensure abortion rights and remove Florida's 6-week abortion ban. Heather Pierre is an immigrant whose mother died in childbirth. Pierre and her daughter spoke on the call.
Wherever my daughter finds herself, regardless of how I feel, those are her decisions, and my job is to support her.
The amendment would need at least 60% of votes to be added to the state constitution. For WMNF News, I'm Chris Young.
Prosecutors say a Brooksville man has been sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for firebombing a Southern California Planned Parenthood clinic in 2022. Xavier Batten pleaded guilty in January. Yesterday, the judge said Batten had committed a cowardly crime that showed no empathy for women and their rights. The clinic was closed at the time and no one was injured. One co-defendant was an active duty Marine stationed at Camp Pendleton at the time of the bombing. Another co-defendant will be sentenced later this month. Veterans in East Tampa now have access to an expanded range of healthcare services at the Sable Park Clinic. WMNF's Carrie Lynn Kwiatkowski reports it's a partnership between the Tampa VA and MacDill Air Force Base 6th Medical Group.
Sable Park Clinic now provides services catering to veterans ranging from primary health care to mental health counseling. Dr. Vanessa Melsom emphasizes her team's training in serving veterans.
They're screened for all sorts of mental health conditions, and if there's any sort of mental health or behavioral health concern, they can see a provider that day. And we can get them connected to all kinds of levels of care. Sometimes they're seen in the primary care clinic. Other times it might be more appropriate for them to be seen in PTSD or SUDS, substance abuse treatment, or other areas. But we're able to triage them, take care of them, and provide a range of services for their needs.
Executive Director David K. Dunning expresses a commitment to addressing the needs of veterans and their families.
Our bottom line in this endeavor is to provide the finest care to America's veterans, military personnel, and their families. And I know that the best interest of all the people we serve is the heart of this special union. We embrace our responsibilities to take care of America's veterans. It's an honor and a privilege to serve, and we will never forget that.
Sable Park Clinic's approach ensures that veterans receive care that addresses all aspects of their well-being. Reporting for WMNF News, I'm Carrie Lynn Kwiatkowski.
Today it will be partly cloudy, windy and hot with a chance of rainstorms and highs in the high 80s. Tonight, breezy with scattered overnight thunderstorms and lows in the high 70s. Tomorrow will be windy with thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible tomorrow. Highs will be in the mid 80s. I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.